Hey there, good evening. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph and I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. So this is my series, which is my favorite albums of 1980. So today's and tomorrow's albums, so this is October the 14th, so this is number 14. So today's and tomorrow's albums got in here more for nostalgia than actual any other reason. I liked them both quite a bit when I was younger. Haven't listened to them for years, but still enjoy certain aspects of the album. In this case, we're talking about Jon Anderson's Song of Seven. I did own the album along with Animation. I owned both of them and The Friends of Mr. Cairo. But I never got them in CDs except for The Friends of Mr. Cairo, which I got recently. But anyways, this album was the lesser of the two between Animation and this album, obviously. However, Jon Anderson's voice is really good on this album, just really good. And to be honest, his voice is good on every album. He's just one of those guys who just has a high level of quality in his voice, and so he never dips below an 8 or 7.5, you know. So for that reason and that reason alone, I love the album. The songs on it, not so much. There's a couple of tracks on here I like. The last song, which is Song of Seven, I like that quite a bit. There's some good keyboards on that track, some very good guitar, and of course Jon's voice is great. But there's some sappy elements on it as well. The whole album is proliferated with some sappy moments. One of the songs I liked quite a bit when I was younger was Everybody Loves You. I don't know why. I really like that song a lot, but it's really sappy. And it's the same with Don't Forget Nostalgia. Another really sappy tune. The first song, For You and Me, that's okay. Some of the other stuff, pretty unmemorable. Heart of the Matter, Hear It, Days, those are all pretty unmemorable songs, I think. Don't Forget Nostalgia and Everybody Loves You are kind of sappy, but I kind of like them both anyways. Summer Born, that song is pretty good. That's one of the better tracks on the album. Some real good keys and drums on this. Jon is great. It has an interesting kind of saxophone solo that comes on and part of the song. But the best part of this album is that it triggers memories that I like, brings back stuff that I remember. It was my first Jon Anderson album. So basically what happened is I became a Yes fan in the early 80s when I bought Drama. And then once I started getting into their albums, Fragile and Close to the Edge and the Yes album and some of the other stuff, Tormato, I think how it went is I got Drama, I got Drama first, and then that followed a few months later with Fragile and Close to the Edge, pretty much within a couple weeks of each other, and then I got Tormato. So those were my first albums, and for a while they were the only ones I had. But I started wanting to branch out into some of the, because I knew a lot of them had solo stuff. So I bought Fish Out of Water, the Steve Howe album, and the Steve Howe Beginnings. I also bought this album, Song of Seven. And this one has Jon Anderson's great vocals, and they're better on this than a lot of albums. And so it kind of brings back memories of discovering Yes, and so therefore it always gets a little bit higher of a rating than it probably would if we were just going based on the material and the songs on it, which are pretty mostly unmemorable or very sappy in a lot of cases. But there are a couple good tracks on it as well. His follow-up album that came out in '82, Olympia. Now that is a totally different story, and if I do 1982, you'll see that. But anyway, not a bad album, so it's here based on nostalgia. Probably not as good as several of the albums that it went ahead of here. but because John Anderson's singing on it, it automatically gets put ahead and is nostalgic reasons. And that same thing will follow for tomorrow's album. So anyways, I hope you like this album. Please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. And we'll be back again tomorrow on day 15 with another album from my series, My Favorite Rock Albums from 1980.